I'm kind of bent on this one. I'll be honest with you guys. We're way too lax right now in the last 6 months, and it wasn't on purpose, me and the coaches. And I'm saying this to you guys because I can be more blunt with high six, but it should be a very simple group call with all of us on a weekly basis. It should be, here's what I said I was going to do last week. Did I do it or not? Why or why not? Like, there's no other reason. In fact, Zach brought up today on one of our core meetings that in the past, if someone didn't bring the metrics, they sat there. There's no reason to talk about anything. You didn't bring your metrics, you didn't bring anything to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Sit and listen to everyone else do their thing, right? And inevitably, someone on each call, one or two people would do their thing, and they would progress, and everybody had to watch that. So I would just challenge everyone to going into 25, making sure you commit to yourself and your family, but then your coach. Here's my goal for next week. We're gonna do this on every call. Back to that's the way we used to do it, because I rack my brain over and over and over again thinking, what did I do day one with associates when we had none of these bells and whistles? We just did that. I'll use Steve. Steve would get on, and Steve wasn't here back then, so I'm just using him as a newer person. Steve would get on and go, here's what I said I was gonna do last week. Here's what I did. I hit it or not, and here's why. And then here's my goals for next week. Public accountability, boom, right there. That's it. It's not complicated, but it did the trick, and we did deals. We probably did the same amount of deals we're doing now with half of the people. So that's what got my attention. That's why I get on this whirlwind of what's changed. So it's for you, it's for your accountability and accountability with us. And then when you're talking about your goals for next year, and then you're recapping your day and you're doing your time tracker, I just wrote in big letters here in my notes, just be honest with yourself. And you guys, we're all in one stage or another guilty of this, and that is blaming something or someone else, right? In 2019, you've all heard, many of you have, some of you are newer, we had our toughest, by far, our toughest year with properties. We could have blamed the buyers, we could have blamed the mortgage broker, could have blamed anyone, but the fact is, it was because 4 years ago, we put shitty buyers in houses, 4 years before that, right? So 2014 and 15. So we had to take responsibility for that and keep moving. A lot of people would have quit. So that's what I mean by taking responsibility. I know Joe Vitale's big on that if you follow him, but it does get rid of all the minutia, and you own up to it and you move on. Let's see. When you're doing all this, we hit some of this directly and indirectly. We'll do some today on hot seats. I hope someone volunteers for hot seat, because I want to know where you think, because it might be real or perceived, your stop gaps are for 25. We can do a couple hot seats to see what we can uncover. Meaning what's stopping you? If we all did the same 24 hours, what the heck is stopping you? Some of you said W2, got it. Rick did a plan for that. We can help you with that. What is it? What's your stopgap right now? As you visualize, I'm going to share my screen here. As you visualize what you want for next year, real simple, does it match your time tracker? That's kind of cool to look at. Does it match what you're doing every single day? It sounds simple, right? Let me see if this thing will share. How many of you, raise your hand, some of you, if you've been with me long enough, have done it, have done sort of that wheel of life circle? How many have done that? Anyone? Wheel of life. Rusty, I know I have, and Deb. Only a few people. So I'm going to share my screen for my beautiful drawing. I would encourage you, I just shared you because I did this live recently again with a group of high six. I think the last one was maybe 6 months ago, and I just pulled it back up my iPad. But I'd encourage you to go through here. You list through the different areas, right? And then rate, just put the dot. You see where these dots are? Put the dot on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being out here in the peripheral, 0 being in the middle, like that area needs a ton of work for you. And you see how your wheel looks. I forget who we did this with live, but that wheel's looking pretty floppy. You rate yourself from 0 to 10 on each one of these areas. You can change the wording if you want, it's no problem. And you see how your wheel looks. That'll then feed into everything we sort of just alluded to. What needs work? Where are my stop gaps? And does that then get fed properly by my schedule? It's good to do this, and it's good to say what your goals are, but then if you go to your schedule, if it doesn't feed it, you are going to be frustrated. That's all you're going to be, frustrated. Any questions on this, you guys? Just yell out, because I can't see everybody when I do the share.
So
good.
So you use those 6 things, but we could change those around a little bit. Like you're just looking at like what's most important to us,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you go online, there's some, again, I just drew it, right? But you go online, there's some very good examples, and they have categories too, slightly different categories. But yes, you can find a nice little chart online and do it out exact.
Okay, cool.
Yep. I just think for year end, I wait nowadays because we have so much material that we've done over the years. I just wait until the morning of. And last night, this morning, these are just things that came to mind for next year. So I'd encourage you guys to do it. Now, here's the piece that comes with this for accountability, though. So far, indirectly, I gave you 2 things that I would suggest you do for next year. And that would mean that you would submit this to your coach, one of us, or all of us, if you're on you have private threads going already. The Wheel of Life and the time tracker. Now, it's Christmas week next week. I don't expect you to do a time tracker. It's not going to be accurate. But might you do one the week of the, whatever it is, the 6th of January? That'd be cool. Or today's Tuesday. I don't think you could recreate tomorrow. That wouldn't be a fair way of doing it. So yeah, I think for most of you, it'll be the first week in January that you do a time tracker. But the wheel you could do now and submit that to your coach so that we can help you for sure. This makes sense, guys?
Yep.